Can you hear me now? Because for some reason, Restream has been auto-muting me on the website side before I've been with anything, which is super frustrating. So hopefully you can hear my dulcet tones, Umpty, and the random background music of Azeroth. Oh, yeah, like I said, totally weird thing, and I'm mostly playing with... So I've got OBS running through Restream, but I'm playing with something so I can easily see the chat. So that was my big concern, and I obviously didn't look and see if I was unmuted everywhere, and that's the most frustrating thing about Restream for me. Oh, you've got some more time on your account? Well, let me see, Umpty, if I have a good auction later this week. I can invite you on, and you and I old man level together, where these kids will tell us everything we're doing wrong, and we'll be like, "Fuck you, I'm old." So it came out last Monday. Um, 6 hours total. And it's just been leveling the new class expansion that is it's like we got to play as a worgen where you could shapeshift out in a human and your werewolf form. This one I can do the same thing where I think what I've seen, it says the female Drathyr in the human, or I guess the person form, is modeled after the... which elf? I think the regular night elf is what the female form is modeled after, and then the male Drathyr form is modeled after the blood elf. Oh, there you go, demon hunt. Yeah. So you missed my lovely argument with myself earlier that it's got this glide mechanic, which is definitely demon hunter-esque. Answer your question, I think most of my characters are Alliance. This is an Alliance character. My main, which is a gnome warlock, is Alliance, and then I've been leveling a goblin warrior was the other thing that I spent some active. So pulled a little bit of both, but I did mostly Alliance when I started playing in college with some friends from high school, because they were mostly Alliance. But really, the way everything has shaken out, that it doesn't really matter. So I started playing, I would say, barely vanilla, that I think I started actively playing during Burning Crusade. Went crazy during Wrath. Like, that was the period of my life where WoW consumed everything, and I was worrying about being that kind of nerd over anything else. But I mostly got this out of looking at some of the lore that is in the Dragonflight stuff. Has been interesting, and I think one of the reviews that I read as I was looking to see if there was anything like I was missing in this Evoker build, that the feeling is almost that Blizzard has learned their lesson from re-releasing vanilla WoW and kind of working back through things, is that some of the stuff that has been unfortunate in some of the recent expansions is just you lost the sandbox, and this one you can be as in or out of the sandbox as you want to see. Oh, Dragon Ball. Yeah. Well, and we were the last time I was in a super competitive raiding guild, Cataclysm, and then was it the Pandas after Cataclysm? Where whoops, fell in the fire. That during, I think it was Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria, where I was in some super active raiding stuff, and then really from that point forward, I found somebody I could do, 2v2 with, and did a lot of PvP arena stuff. And then that calmed down once my coaching load and teaching load picked up. But I also, in thinking about the Shadowlands storyline, that's pretty funny. Panda Express. I like that. You should sit on that until the Panda Express restaurant chain is like, we want to have a guild in World of Warcraft, and you can camp on that name like people who domain camp. Ride the winds. But everything since, like, I originally scoffed at the idea of Pandaria just because I thought it veered, a little bit too kiddish from the premise. And then I played it and I loved kind of the expansion it had of the story and the professions. And then really everything else since then, like, I hated Warlords of Draenor. That the not the guild system, but like the profession system. No, whatever you had to do through your barracks was too big and ambitious. Um, and then whatever the Demon Hunter expansion was okay in terms of that stuff. Oh shit, I jumped too far. And then I thought Shadowlands was okay, but that's when I started getting more into reading comics or, having actual biological children that needed my time. Yeah, the farms were fun. Garrisons, that's what I couldn't think of. I like that, but it almost felt like the farm stuff, it was almost idiot proof. But the garrisons, like, that almost became your second life job, where if you didn't log on every 8 to 12 hours, then you probably missed a quest or two that you could send people on that mattered. Or once they started increasing the complexity of those, like, I couldn't find some of the better NPCs that made your garrisons better. But like I said, I thought the idea was pretty cool, but I think eyes were bigger than their stomach, and then it got better. as time went on. Oh, he's cowardly now, so I can run away. I do think part of me is, so I haven't gone back and played any of the WoW Classic stuff they have released, but they just expanded it to Wrath of the Lich King. And I do think a good part of me is like, I want to do this. Since that's really where I feel like I cut my teeth. Oh yeah. And I think, and I'll probably be able to attest to this. So to be able to level an evoker, I think you had to have level 60 on your account, so like the old Death Knight rules. But you start at level 58, and then after two levels of like race specific pre-game storyline, you hop back in at 60. Fucking that that when Skullman's 2.0, that has now triggered me, and I need another. Cheers. So I haven't looked at ore in this expansion, but I'm on this, and the rate in which I've seen herbs pop up just from casually milling around seems low. And I haven't done some super hunting on this, but it still feels lower than any other expansion. But I think as I decide to play my alt, or I guess not my alt, as I plan to kind of invest time back into my character, especially as we are milling into Christmas break again, and I can mindlessly do that. I'll tell you how long with a max it takes you to get caught up, and then I think my goblin warrior is in a bunch of like the account bound epic XP gear, where I can tell you if you've got something low that you want to pick up, what that looks like from a time commitment. But I will say the smart thing that they've started doing for longevity's sake is making it far quicker than ever before to level from zero. And that's not including the stuff, buy the level up coin and that kind of stuff. 252, nice. Yeah, I think I would have quit Shadowlands before I really had to start caring about that high level raiding gear. But I can definitely appreciate that grind that I remember those days highly. This is the other thing that I like, Umpty, that is different from some of the other expansions. So you've got right now for this class, and like I said, I haven't looked at my others to see how true it is, but the Evokers have a couple of spells that are empowered, which means instead of like the instant or the regular like 6-second class time, where do I do the orb? I can't remember what I was saying. And I gotta think for a second. Oh, the empowered spell. So, like, if you watch this Ashen Spark that I'm gonna, like, the two spells I have right now are Rapid or Fire Breath and this Eternity Surge. So I can cast it, and then whoops, this delay will kind of pop up in the casting time where you can see different levels pop up. And it basically becomes the longer you allow the casting time to be, the more damage it does. It's almost like D&D where you some sorcery points to get some things done. But yeah, for the most part, the I think the long at one time is maybe 3.5 hours. Is pretty fun. That it's linear enough where for some of those quests where I just need to get the boring kill and collect things over and over again, that I can grind through those mindlessly. But I think there's enough new stuff that matters for the story and how non-linear outside of them trying to level cap you out of stuff. Like, I'm not trying to take one of the hardest quests in the world without some of the starter stuff that I really feel like this is getting back to some of the best things that we all appreciated about WoW from beginning. But yeah, I'm definitely down to, even if you are Team Umpty has a cajillion alts and alt banks. I do think that, the one thing that I miss is that, my pre-Discord, pre-comic book community, collector community interaction was chatting with all of my folks on, Ventrilo, on raid nights and things like that. So even if we don't do stuff together and we're just mindlessly rolling around, that we can do it together and it could be fun. Primal Waves. Help test the orbs against the Titan barrier. I'm gonna see if any of the stuff that I just got is better. No. That's better. Oh, I picked up a toy, apparently. This is the one thing that's hard for me to remember while level grinding is picking all of the random quest loot that you get that levels you up. I can relate to you that I think one of my characters is still in one of my guilds from Wrath or slightly thereafter. But I think that'll be, like I said, what I fiddle with a little bit towards this weekend. Because we've got the national qualifier this weekend, but none of my junior, senior teams want to qualify. So I'm trapped at a tournament for 3 days that I have to run as a district chair with no dog in the hunt. So I figure I can play well. I also do like some of these little quests where you are breaking into like a vault or something like that, that has little tastes of like solo raid feel. Not like I'm gonna walk in here and just get fucking worked by a Titan that I know of, but I like those kinds of puzzle moments to get your orbs to unlock somewhere new. Investigate the life vault. I mean, I want to look at this glowing book. You're going to tell me to fight this woman that's going to fight me. No shit. This is the second time that I've died while staying in swirly shit. Yeah. The starter area was the first two levels, and then that culminates in just about every other kind of expansion quest does, that you go to Stormwind and hunt down people to do shit with you, and then you end up in the Dragon Isles. So this is the second time I've been killed by one of these Discordant Watchers because I'm standing in swirly shit and not paying attention. But I think they said this map has 5 zones. Yeah. See? That's why we could be good together. We're both slow and we stand in the shit on the fire. Oh, yeah. So the pre-expansion stuff, you could view some of the things and then level, I think 2 levels is what it saw, and you'll know better than me. But the starter zone for this race class combo was an area that's not even on the map. Jesus Christ, I need to get better at healing potion myself. I should rename the stream, instead of leveling while sick, old man constantly dies by standing in the shit. I'm so close I have to wait for the cooldown. Well, and what worked out for me, good, bad, or indifferent, is nice. I think if there's anything that I could think of in any world that suits my mental vision of you, it would not be you doing anything, but I think your avatar fishing in Azeroth. As long as it's got just a good, cushy enough beard, then I can get behind that. All right, let's buff myself. Okay. Let's actually pay attention while we fight this. I'm going to move you to the bottom, Empty, so I don't look and chat with you and I die again. God damn. She's shorting out, and oh. Now I can move you back up. But yeah, I'm definitely watch team Umpty Ump fish. Is that the only thing I had to look at? Not like all these cool fucking floaty books? The other thing I have to look at is some of the factions that are in here. So, like, Earthen Ring is clearly in, you know, earlier WoW expansion stuff. Is I wonder if some of that experience stacks. I'm gonna guess that it does. But you never know. Fragmented record rubbing. I rubbed it. And I get something that is worse for me because I have a two-handed weapon. Achievement progress. Level 1. Alright, let's do some dragon flying. How far away? Pacha. Where's my bag of frogs? Bag of frogs. Bag. Fire. Potion. Poppy. Am I missing something? Do I need to talk to this person to dump my frogs? No. What am I missing? Oh yeah, shit. Ammo and keys. I remember my hunters. No, damn it. Oh, maybe I could do it because I was mounted. And I'm not smart. But yeah, I remember counting my bullets and my arrows. And it wasn't all auto stuff. Or I remember when it doesn't meet the requirements. Oh, I'm going to guess mine does the same thing. That my only problem was I had to free up more memory because the hard drive on this is small and I have a bunch of Word docs and shit saved on here for school stuff. And it works faster and better than it did on my Mac. All right, where am I going for my erstwhile ecologists? But yeah, I'm going to guess that those requirements means that your computer will suck in a raid when you've got the bigger, flashier graphics and more people doing what you want to do. But since you are like I and you don't care about that stuff, like maybe minimal, you'll get some dungeon lag. But even still, you can survive those unless, like, I remember surviving some dungeons laggy as a tank. As a healer, that might suck a bit. What's that thing? A distressed river beast because it's in a tornado?
Isles welcome you for dragon time. Until we meet again. May the nights
Fire from page water and wind.
May the flights protect
Rescue the wildlife. Doesn't say how many. Dope. Okay.
Aspect's grace shine down.
Oh, it's the wildlife, whatever these fucking elementals are spinning and doing other shit to. Tanking was a challenge, and then it got fun for me on some of those things that I was super dedicated to. So I think where I'm at most of the time now is if I want to tank something, it'll be if I'm working with somebody who's trying to get an alt through a low level dungeon. And it's like I'll just run through and fart, and then you can know that I'm going to pull more threat than you are. But yeah, DPS is nice. I'm looking forward to Helvetica is a tank. So one of these days, he and I have talked about doing some stuff together, but with our schedules and shit like that, maybe we can see if it happens over the break. And I don't mind healing. That I really feel like the one thing that made healing easier for low attention span people like me are different add-ons. But add-ons plus, your computer being wild or running into some FPS issues. Oh, yeah. I can relate to that. Well, I think maybe that could be... Because are you talking about game time tokens? That's what I need to see if I can do. Fuck Blizzard getting my $15 a month. That if I can now just use my gold from all of my characters over the years, then win-win. Do I have many battle pets? Let's see. 264. One of the things I haven't done is spent time leveling. I think my highest level pet, is 25 at the cap. Because I think I have like a dozen that are up around that level. Because you can sell those tokens in the auction house, right? I think that started happening the last time I mentally checked out from my random Warcraft side hustle. Sorry, my headphones. One decided that it was time to die. Alright, so I need to kill more water. That's wind. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Brain, not function. You should DM me somebody good to watch, because I think the only time I've ever started watching people aside from like raid strategy videos, is a couple of folks who did a lore video here or there. Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. Hazelnutty. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put that on my phone here in a minute then, because she might be someone useful to look at in terms of rethinking or retooling my main. Because I really feel like every time you get an expansion with a new race class exclusive combo, they fairly idiot proof it, where it's like, hey, you can go through and click buttons. And I go, yes, I can, and that's what I'm going to do before I have to think about things on my gnome warlock. Oh, yeah. Icy Veins is good. Well, I was impressed with the breakdown that they had maybe 2 days into the new expansion where they're like, here's everything that you need to know. And they recommended leveling as the healing class of this, since some of the, like, you can hybrid stuff like Shadow Priest could. And I was like, no, I'll die a couple of extra times. Yeah, I can relate to that. Well, and really, button mashing is surviving at World of Warcraft. And I think I might turn in this progression of quests where I'm at and then go to bed. To corrupt the youth of America. We have 9 days left in the semester. Is that the last one I needed? No? 2 more. Nice. I just got a card from you in the mail today or yesterday. And I think finally my Patreon shit started sorting itself out, that for some reason I couldn't get my Patreon account to communicate with either my PayPal or any of my debit cards. But I saw I got a charge, so hopefully I'm back in Umpty Town so I can get a Merry Chuckmas. But I think your card's in my bag for me to check out at school tomorrow. But that seems like a good plan. When I finish this quest, then I'll go to bed, and that gives you an excuse to go to sleep, or, oh, well, getting disconnected from the server. I guess that also means that I'm done. So I'll take that. But anybody else who checked in, I appreciate it. But if this was my hour of the night to get to hang out and chat with Umpty Ump, then I also won't complain about that. But I'm gonna go bed. Maybe I'll play a little bit tomorrow. I think I'm on a Twitter space tomorrow at 6:30. But that's it. So, Umpty, good chat. We'll continue this. Well, I'll say in the morning. I'd say offline when we're done, but we're both tired and want to go to bed. So, anybody else who watches me struggle through leveling an Evoker by standing and shit, I appreciate you. But as always, y'all, thanks for stopping by, and have a good one.